territory where Carlos Bulosan once lived to tell the story of the rain swept glory of Mike Jackson men who fight the destination we were destined to end. Left a writing on the wall in the halls of the Nippon Khan. Others transformed, majority Decepticons. But my conception of the...
All right. I always begin with all right. Uh, I'm like a rapper. All right, all right, all right. About to freestyle.
That's actually Matthew McConaughey in Dazed and Confused. That's not a rapper.
Man, Dazed and Confused. That is before my time.
Have you seen it?
No, I haven't. And I've actually, I haven't seen some critical movies. Like, people in our office were exchanging memes, and one of them was from the precursor to Old School, which is Old School was a remake of
Animal House?
I think it was Animal House.
It has to be Animal House.
Yeah.
It's the same concept, basically.
I didn't get any of the memes because,
Well, let me say really quick about Dazed and Confused. It's probably got some humor in it that doesn't fly.
Yeah.
But it's to me, it's great. I'm not ready to show it to my kids. So it's got some stuff, but McConaughey's pretty iconic in it.
Oh man, so he's probably young in it.
It's one of his first roles, yeah.
Okay, was it in the
He's
90s?
a total creeper.
Did it come in there?
It came out in the 90s, but it takes place in the 70s.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I have a little rant to go on.
Let's go.
I told you. So I was up in Seattle for Caroline's graduation from Seattle U. She got her master's. Shout out to Caroline.
Way to shout out one of your two sisters.
Yeah.
Just ignore the one who had audio issues on our podcast.
Ignore Courtney.
Sorry, Courtney. I had to bring it up. Caroline sold you out. She told me you were pissed about your audio issues.
Yeah. Caroline, the graduation was at Climate Pledge Arena, and a lot of Seattle sports tie-ins besides the fact that it was at Climate Pledge. The mayor, Bruce Harrell, did a great speech. Husky football player. I don't know if you'd call him a legend. I mean,
Bruce Harrell played Husky football?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he was on the Cleveland basketball team that some people consider the best high school basketball team in the Washington State history.
Yeah.
1975.
I mean, anybody
I could
that
be wrong, though.
plays for a Husky team and won a Rose Bowl, in my book, is on like very low threshold for legend status, but that's kind of like the best accomplishment for however many years before the college football playoff. Like, if you're on a Washington Husky football team and you go to the Rose Bowl and you win
for sure. Yeah.
Like, you've made your mark. So anyways, he gave a good speech, but that's besides the point. Okay, this graduation took place on Monday night. It was game 5 or game 4. I think it was game 4 of the Pacers Thunder.
It's only 2 days ago. Yeah, it was game 5.
Game 5. Okay. All right. We meet at a bar after Tom's Watch Bar to celebrate the graduation. And it's Tom's Watch Bar is right across the street from Climate Pledge. I can't remember the cross streets, but the premise is a tried and true premise of you set yourself up near a sports arena, you have plenty of TVs, and you just serve bar food. And it's high end, and they jack up the prices for everything because you can do that.
Yep.
Prices are fine. That's not my problem. The Mariners are also playing, and this is the only team in Seattle. And I get it. The NBA Finals are a big deal, so you throw that up everywhere in the bar.
Sure.
Right? That's okay, I guess. But the fact that I couldn't find the Mariners game anywhere, there were like everything. They had like Sports Center on. They had the New York Yankees on. They had the Red Sox. I couldn't find the Mariners. I was like, how is this? How am I at a Seattle bar? And maybe there's one TV with the Mariners on. I asked them to turn one of the main TVs to the Mariners, and they're like, no, someone already reserved this to watch, the Red Sox
Sports
or whatever. Yeah, I was just
okay. So let me first ask: the Mariners were on ATV, so it was possible.
It was possible for
This
sure.
was not like a direct TV. We don't have Root Sports.
Or Pac-12 network or
Yeah,
something.
not something like that.
No,
okay,
no,
so
no,
they
no.
could have. So
Yeah.
then that takes me right in with your rant. I'm with you. That is ridiculous. And I'm gonna make a guess. I'm gonna guess that a lot of people who own property down by Climate Pledge aren't from Seattle.
No, and
We have a-
Tom's
we have
Watch
a
Bar
ton
is a
of-
chain, right? So
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even know that. Yeah. So we
Yeah.
have all these sort of transplants in Seattle. This is kind of what I feel like Seattle's becoming.
yeah.
And
I
that
couldn't believe
I'm
I
with you.
like I was
That's
like
ridiculous.
I am I'm like across the street from Climate Pledge. I literally like have to struggle to watch the Mariners game at a bar whose main purpose is to show sports.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't believe
That's why, yeah, that sucks. It's
Yeah.
absolutely ridiculous. That's
Yeah.
why shout out to the local places, right?
Yeah.
That near neighborhoods. Like for me, the
Yeah.
Westie, great bar on West Seattle.
No
Always got the
problem.
Mariners
Yeah,
game on.
no
They have
problem.
tons of games on. They have the NBA
Yeah.
Finals, but the Mariners were on a big TV right next to the NBA Finals.
Yeah. And this
Also,
is just
you can go up the street. I got to shout out Super Deli Mart, which is a convenience store that masquerades as a sports bar. They have like 8 TVs. It's awesome. It's 1 block from my house. Sell great beer. They're gonna have the Mariners game on all the
Yes.
time. So
Also, I
there
have
you
to
go.
shout out the rookie in the Central District in Columbia City, or rookies, not the rookie.
Rookies. Yeah.
Rookies, one of my all-time favorites, has been around for over 10 years now. I just love that bar. They'll have the Mariners on. Anyways,
There
I'm
we
at
go.
Tom's Watch Bar. Okay, so
Oh,
unsurprisingly,
there's more to the rant.
Oh yeah, unsurprisingly, they don't have mayonnaise on the menu, which is totally like I think it's a crime. That's another crime. If you're a bar in Seattle that shows sports, like have mayonnaise on tap.
Okay, but did they have other Georgetown beers?
They had the Boda. What is it? The
Bodhisattva. It's better than
Bodhisattva.
mayonnaise.
Yeah, they had the Bodhisattva, which
It's
was
better.
Okay, I
It's
get it.
better.
All right,
Okay.
I'll let that fly. Okay, I walk out of the bar.
Wait. Hold on.
Yeah.
People are going to side with me on this because your favorite beer that you brought on the podcast once was the Kraken Stash Brew from the Kraken games. People did not like your take on that. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, okay. So I walk out of the bar and I'm like, okay, that was okay. Like, whatever. I can get upset about that. Don't get me wrong. We're celebrating Caroline. It was overall a great time. Whatever. But this is my rant. for
Whatever,
This is
Caroline.
the content,
Whatever.
right? So I walk out and there's a dude just walking in Seattle with a Thunder jersey.
Oh,
I couldn't believe that
which
is like,
jersey?
I want to say it was number 7, but I was so like my eyes were bleeding. I just couldn't believe
Oh,
it.
Chet Holmgren,
Yeah.
number 7.
And
That's even worse. He's
Yeah.
a Gonzaga grad and he's garbage.
I yelled at the guy and I was like, come
Yeah,
on.
what'd
Climate Pledge was like in the
Yeah.
backdrop. And I kind of just said, come on, man, you can't be wearing that in Seattle. Like, and then he like laughed and said they're like the best team in the world or something stupid like that. And I just couldn't believe like how have you seen people walk around in Thunder jerseys
No,
in Seattle?
thankfully.
Yeah,
No,
and
the most of the people I associate with, although I would say there are a lot of I don't know a ton of people who are transplants, right?
yeah,
Because I grew up here,
Yeah.
went to school here forever,
Yeah.
as you did. So a lot of people I know hate the Thunder, like more than I do.
yes,
I don't want them to win. I don't
Yeah.
think it'll like ruin my life because they're going to win, especially if the Sonics come back. If the Sonics don't come back with this expansion, then I might never come out of my bedroom again. I don't know what to say. Like it'd be terrible.
I
So I
think
think
this is
the-
like the number one worst thing you could do as a transplant in Seattle is walk around downtown Seattle near
Yeah.
the former site of the
You're
Sonics.
100% right.
And where I can't think of
There's nothing worse. Yeah.
besides jacking up the house prices for
Yeah.
everyone and rent, whatever. Like, put that.
No,
put that
this is
away.
worse. This is worse. And a
absolutely
Chet
worse.
Holmgren jersey makes it even worse.
And it was just so nonchalant. And I think the issue is really that they had no idea. This happened 20. How long did it ago? It's 2008.
2008. So
17
it's not
years
even,
ago?
Yeah, it's not even that long.
I just like
Okay, I have 2 things.
I
to
can't
build-
get over it. I can't get
2
over
things
it.
to build off of this. Okay. First, the guy obviously didn't apologize.
No.
Are you going to apologize to our listeners for having a Wednesday night podcast?
No, I'm not going to apologize because I do this for free. So no.
All right.
I should
Well,
apologize.
Super
to
Deli
you.
Mart wants to sponsor us. I'm happy to buy more beer from you. Okay. Secondly, we'll build. Great. Kevin's not apologizing. Um,
I just
by the way, that's Kevin. I'm
I
Brian.
can't
What an
recover.
intro.
I can't recover.
This is episode 54, which I call the Bobby Wagner experience, but I'm going to build off of your intro with Climate Pledge, the Sonics. Big
Yeah.
news today, Kev. The Lakers are being sold for $10 billion, which if you had in 2008 when the Sonics moved had said that, I thought it would be like an Austin Powers skit. Have you ever seen Austin Powers?
Yes, I've seen Austin Powers.
Yeah, it'd be like $10 billion. Like it's ridiculous. Okay, but I'm bringing that up because 10 billion for the Celtics, insane. Celtics were 6, which I thought was crazy. I'm going to give you some more info. The Suns in 2022 were 4 billion. The Timberwolves sold this year, but it was a weird delayed sale and arbitration with A-Rod involved, but it was only 1.5 billion. So what's the expansion number going to be?
So wait, so the last one you just said was Phoenix or Minnesota?
Phoenix was 4 in 2022.
I think
Celtics are 6. It feels like in between those two.
yeah. And we're biased because we're Seattle people, right? So
No, I'm not biased on this. I am generally curious. I think we'll be able to get it regardless. I think
I think the ceiling is probably 5 billion.
it can't be as much as the Celtics, right?
No, no, no. That's why I said
Because that,
5
like, in terms
billion.
of valuations of franchises,
But
I
it
think it's
seems
bad
worth
for the
more than Minnesota. It
Yeah, it's
seems like a
bad for
bigger
the
market than
league.
Phoenix.
Right. It's bad for the league if this valuation is bigger than the Celtics. That doesn't make sense. So I think, but you're right. It should be bigger than Phoenix, and if it's Seattle and Vegas, which we hope. There's a whole nother part we could talk about a different podcast about how much they're going to have to pay each owner, but the cost of the actual franchise I think will be in the 5 to 5.5 billion is my guess.
Yeah.
And hopefully we find out this summer because Adam Silver said news is coming in July.
Yeah.
Or they're going to bring it to the board of governors or whatever. It's going to be drawn out for a while. But
It will
I'm
be drawn out.
curious because, I mean, Adam Silver had to know the Lakers were going to be sold. We didn't know,
Yeah.
right? So he's really smart, as most commissioners are, even if people don't like them. He knew that he had to wait for the Celtics sale. Then he said, we're going to start the process in July, talking to board of governors. He had to know the Lakers were also going for sale because it helps set the market for these expansion teams. And they say, well, I mean, this scares me a little bit because is it possible that now the expansion teams are higher because the Lakers at 10, but they are the Lakers.
And it was the Celtics.
Yeah,
so,
it's like the Lakers and the Yankees,
yeah.
right? There's nothing more Man U in soccer. I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah.
so hopefully that's coming. Well, Kev's not going to apologize. He's mad at the city.
No, I'm mad at this lame bar and
Yeah,
a Thunder fan for committing like the worst sin possible in Seattle sports.
I was thinking that the area by Climate Pledge will be better if the Sonics come because now you're talking. You have the Kraken head on every night. There's something and storm in this, in the summer.
Yeah.
It's just incredible. And so more cool bars will come. But now you're making me think it's just going to be more like chain bars.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, it makes sense because that'll make the money. And
brutal.
honestly, around LA Live, it's really chainy. Like there's, I think that's the model, like Yard House and restaurants, high-end restaurants, right? That the common man like me and you can't afford. So
I'll tell you what, we are a common man. I don't mind a Yard House of all the chains. If we're gonna throw chains, Tom can take his chain somewhere else. Yard House, like you can get a good beer there.
Yeah, no. And I've actually had a Manny's in LA.
Yeah.
Because
of Yard House?
Because of Yard House.
Let's go, Yard House.
Yeah,
if you want to sponsor the podcast,
Tom's Watch Bar.
We're here.
No.
Tom's Watch Bar. If you gave us money, we'd say no. Okay. Here's our format for this week after a long intro. We're going to do a starting 5 of the week. So 5 people in Seattle sports who showed out this week to make them the starting 5. I've got some categories we're just going to go through as a way to cover Seattle sports. It's summer. You got all kinds of random games going on and random sports, and we can't just complain about the Mariners all the time, but we'll probably find a way. So I made a starting five of the week. You can disagree and put someone else in if you want, but I'll tell
Yeah.
you who I got. Okay.
Yeah.
First one is my man. I got to talk about him, JP Crawford.
Yeah.
I love him. Like, I love JP Crawford. He's entering the list of, there is something, sorry, I'll finish my sentence. He's entering the list of like favorite Mariners. He's entering that category because you have to be here for a while and we have to have like some of the ups and downs, I feel like a little bit.
Yeah.
And this is what's missing in sports today because people jump around so much. Even in college, we talked about it, right? The transfer portal. Like, where's the Brandon Roy that you're like, we don't know how good he's going to be. Oh my God, he's incredible. The Isaiah Thomas in college. Even the Jake Locker. Like, I have fond memories of Jake Locker because I saw him play for so long, even though he had some really down moments. JP had a bad year last year.
Yeah.
He had a good 2023. He is awesome in 2025. Since we last podcasted, he's hitting 375, has a grand slam, 25% walk rate. Come on. 0.5 WAR in the 9 days since we podcasted. I'll repeat, 9 days because Kevin is a bum. Okay.
Did you know he's fourth in the league in the entire major leagues in on base percentage right now?
Yes, he's
At
incredible.
one point, he was second to the GOAT, Aaron Judge,
Yeah.
whose on base percentage is 463, meaning he gets on base 46% of the time. JP Crawford, 41% of the time. Not
He's a
bad.
410 on base is awesome.
Like, let me name the top 10 just
Yeah.
to give you context. Aaron Judge, Will Smith, Jonathan Aranda, JP Crawford, Freddie Freeman, Rafael Devers, Jacob Wilson, Kyle Tucker, Shohei Ohtani, Vladimir Guerrero. Maybe like
good
two
list.
guys aren't all-stars, but that's a dang good
I
list.
think all those guys except for JP are going to be all-stars.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think,
And that's one thing I wanted to talk about JP. It sucks that he plays shortstop.
oh, yeah. Loaded
So
position.
Jacob Wilson's on that list from the A's. He's hitting like 350 or something, isn't he?
Yeah.
Like, he's insane.
Yep.
Bobby
359.
Witt is incredible. And then who's the third one in the AL that's above JP in WAR? JP's like fourth in shortstop in WAR.
Yeah.
In the AL, which is crazy. It's just stacked. And so
Is he leading off now? I
Yeah.
jump into Mariners games where I don't care.
he didn't lead off today because Dylan Moore led off
Okay.
against the lefty. They gave JP the day off. They have the day off tomorrow. They go to Chicago. They play 17 days in a row coming up.
Up into the All-Star break?
No, then they come home. 17 days in a row includes a road trip and a homestand. And then they go to New York and Detroit for the All-Star break. But they have a day off in between. So
Could you imagine teaching 17 days in a row?
Oh, I've done it for sure.
No, because you always have the weekend.
No, there's been scenarios where I've had to like be engaged with students slash
Yeah,
coach,
practice.
you know, whatever.
Yeah.
17 days in a row. Actually, when I was like 21 years old, I worked at this nonprofit and they made me work like 30 days in a row because I worked at festivals and weekends to help kids sell t-shirts.
Yeah.
It's definitely illegal.
Yeah.
All right.
You needed
Second-
a lawyer.
Yeah, I did. I didn't know you yet. All right, second person, Gabby Williams. Gabby Williams the Storm went 2-1 since we've last talked. They had a terribly disappointing game down by you at Golden State. Golden State played really well. But Gabby Williams had some nice games, but I'm going to throw in, she had 8 steals last game, Kev.
Yeah, the blowout. It
She
was a
broke-
blowout.
She broke a record for the Seattle Storm, or tied it. I can't remember which.
Yeah.
But Gabby Williams is my favorite Storm player, so I'm a little biased here because Skylar or NECA could have been on this list. But Gabby Williams having 8 steals in a game, that does it for
She
me.
plays with so much energy. Like,
She's so
it
awesome.
feels good. It's one of those players where it feels good watching her because something's going to happen when she's on the court. It sounds kind of
Yeah.
dumb, but
No.
it's not always scoring. Like, she's a good scorer, but she does make things happen. She rebounds. She can play good defense, and then obviously she can create turnovers, which is awesome.
Kev, I don't know how to capture this. I'm totally
Yeah.
with you. I can't write an article or a post about it because I can't capture it unless I did like screenshots.
Yeah.
I've coached basketball for 24 years, and I would say I really understood the game like the last, 10 to 12,
Yeah.
where I was really focused as a defensive coach. And watching her play defense is a true gift.
You know
It
what?
is unbelievably awesome to see the things she can do. I'll try to give a couple examples just here because it's hard to
Yeah.
capture. So, if you watch NBA or WNBA, the offense is so good, right? And so if a player who's skilled offensively gets somebody on their hip or near them, they get a bucket. They can get
Yeah.
space. They can't get space on her without a ball screen. And even sometimes with a ball screen, her recovery and her length, just watch her on the ball and watch a player like, I'm going to use Chelsea Gray for the Aces as an example.
Yeah.
Um, like they can't get shots off in the same way they can against other people. Number two, the way she recovers to either, they call it tag a pick and roll. So if you have a roller going and she's the help coming from the weak side, her job is to tag up and either get a hand in the way or then recover. And then her recovery to the 3-point line is just elite. I don't know
She
what to
can
say
close
other
out.
than
Yeah.
I've never had a player who could do that,
Yeah.
obviously, but there's not players on the court doing it in the WNBA like Gabby is. She should be defensive player of the year.
So I think my best comparison, and you can tell me if there's flaws in this, but senior year Matisse Thybulle had this length and
For you, Dub?
yeah, for UW,
Yep.
and could make so many things happen on defense that it was just you couldn't take him off the court, even if
Matisse
he
is
wasn't scoring.
he's a great example. They were in a zone, right? So it's a little
Yeah, a
tricky.
little different.
But even when he got to the NBA early on and he would get limited minutes, but when he was in, it's very similar.
Like
his
you could get he could get someone could go past him, but that wasn't the end of
his
the story
recovery
because
is
he
incredible.
could
Yeah.
recover and block a shot or
Yeah.
get a hand in the way like without
Yeah.
fouling. So
Yep.
it's pretty good.
Yep.
Um,
Okay. Third person. I threw Emerson Hancock on here. Give him a little love.
yeah,
7 inning shutout ball
yeah.
last night against the Red Sox. Mariners lost 2 out of 3 against the Red Sox, but their pitching was pretty good. Their pitching's kind of back. Castillo's been consistently good. Logan Gilbert came off the IL. That's amazing. He had 10 strikeouts, but lost 2-0. Emerson Hancock against a Red Sox offense, even without Rafael Devers. He was good. It was
Yeah.
cool.
One thing about the Mariners, I mean,
Yep.
maybe we get into this later, maybe we don't, but it's just that total thing. Like when the offense is working, then the pitching isn't working.
Yeah.
When the pitching is working, then the offense isn't working. Like it can't all fire off all three things. I forgot what the third switch is. Luck.
Well,
Who knows?
defense, I don't know.
Defense.
There's not, I mean,
Yeah. Julio, like, yeah. So, anyways,
Julio, that's a good one. Yeah, I don't know if he's always. Sorry, I'm trying to look up. The Mariners had a 4-2 homestand as we're talking about them, which was good because they've been really bad before that. Before that stretch, I think they were 11-20 over their 31 games, which is not good. They got swept by the D-backs. They had lost 5 of 6 on the road, so they need to be. I mean, they're above 500 and they're in the mix. They're actually in a wild card spot or close to it.
yeah.
So I don't know. I'll take it.
This is
Last
what
year
it
at this
feels.
time,
This is what they are. They're
last year
not-
at this time, they had
yeah.
a 10 game lead and they blew it. So,
Yeah.
all right. Fourth person from the starting 5 of the week, Christian Roldan.
What happened?
All right. I knew you didn't watch soccer.
No, I was
the
trying to
Sounders are
watch
in
the
the-
Mariners.
The Sounders are in the Club World Cup, Kev. It started.
Nice.
What a response. Kev's like, what's that? The FIFA Club World Cup, Kev, is 32 teams, club teams in the world, and really good teams are playing in this.
Did you buy your tickets for the Seattle games?
No. I could have gone to this game. They were available for decent price. They played Botafogo from Brazil, who was very skilled. Kev, I don't love watching soccer all the time. The second half of this game was awesome. The Sounders played so hard because they're in group play and their next 2 games are against Atletico Madrid and PSG. It's going to be brutal.
It's awesome.
But
We're
it's
like the
really
Ghana.
cool.
We're like Ghana during the World Cup or something. It's
Here's
great.
something I bet you don't know that you would like.
Yeah.
Well, let me answer your first question. Christian Roldan scored a header to bring them back. They were down 2-0, made it 2-1, and the Sounders really came close to tying that game. And Christian Roldan not only had the goal, he had 4 fouls drawn, 2 tackles, one. He was just really good in 90 minutes. So it was a nice Sounders performance. It was also disappointing. Here's what I think you'll like. Do you know they're using real grass in Lumen Field right now?
Yeah, I heard about that
Yeah.
because they had all these requirements. So they
Yep.
had to, that was one of the things.
It looks beautiful.
By the way, did you know this was the first World Cup, Club World Cup, or what is it called? The Club
Yeah.
World Cup?
FIFA Club World Cup.
First ever goal scored by an MLS team in this
Oh,
thing.
really?
So pretty awesome.
That's even cooler. That's why he's on the
Like,
list.
yeah.
All right, here's my fifth one. Another soccer player. Jordan Bugg. Jordan Bugg is a central defender for the Seattle Reign. She's a young and up and coming star, I think. And we'll talk about that in a second. She scored the equalizer. The Reign got down to Chicago Stars, who are bad, 2-0 early. And it could have been an easy on the road, let's give up. Game played at Soldier Field. Lynn Bayandalo scored, and then Jordan Bugg scored the equalizer. Jordan Bugg had a great game as well, so we give shout out to Jordan Bugg. That's our starting 5 of the week. You okay with those?
Yeah, I'm totally cool with those. I
Great.
mean, performance of the week though. I
Yeah.
feel like we should just name the podcast the Cal Raleigh podcast until we don't mention him because it's
impossible.
impossible to go.
Impossible. Yeah.
Every time you think, oh, he's slowing down, home run.
I mean, he was having a bad week. He would not make the starting 5 of the week, but the single performance of the week, 3 for 4, grand slam, 6 RBIs against Boston.
He's
last
like,
night.
let me just do it in one game,
Dude.
salvage the series.
Kev, he has 27 homers and 60 RBIs. It's Griffey numbers.
Dude, it's like
It's not,
Sammy
and it's not
Sosa
Nelson
on-
Cruz.
No, it's like steroids numbers is what
Yeah.
it is.
It's torpedo bat numbers. Here's one more Cal Raleigh for the performance of the week I want to throw in there because I think you'll care about this.
Yeah.
He has 1,043,168 All-Star votes. Second place, second most Aaron Judge, and the next person in catcher is Alejandro Kirk, who's 700,000 votes behind. That made me so happy when I saw it.
Yeah, I'm gonna make
And
an
I-
assumption. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just going to say I was driving my Toyota Avalon down the West Seattle streets thinking, just pondering. It's summer, so I have more mental space, right? So I was pondering like Cal Raleigh's going to be in the All-Star starting lineup. Like they're not going to catch him. That's great. And then I thought, where will he bat? Will he be like 5th, 6th, 3rd? You know?
Yeah.
And then this is what I was thinking. And then I thought, oh, I'm going to have to watch. Sometimes I don't watch the beginning of the All-Star game if the Mariners don't have a starter because it's like, I don't know. It's fun, but there's something about, maybe this is silly of me, but tuning into the national broadcast when a guy like Cal Raleigh has those kind of silly numbers and when he comes up, just listening to the broadcasters
Yeah. It gets you.
effuse praise on him
Yes.
as he's facing,
Yeah.
I don't know. I was going to say Shohei, but Shohei won't pitch in the All-Star game because of his arm.
Maybe
Whoever.
Robbie Ray. Maybe we'll get some.
Oh,
Robbie Ray versus
yes.
Cal
Let's
Raleigh.
go.
That'd be
Robbie
awesome.
Ray. Like it just, yeah. And then Cal just goes deep like Jordan Alvarez did on Robbie Ray.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, there
You
you go.
did not have to bring that up.
I can't. What?
Yeah.
Robbie Ray's name, tight pants, Jordan Alvarez. That's the two things that come up in my
It's
mind.
so disappointing.
Yeah.
It's so
Kev,
disappointing.
we could revisit that at some point and really do an oral history of it. That series is so sad. And it's great because they made the playoffs and I got to experience playoff baseball and so do my kids because there's something different. We've talked about this before. But as most playoff series probably are, especially in baseball, a pitch here or there, and it's just they had game 1.
Yeah.
And then they lost game 3, 1-0 in 18 innings. Like, get out of here. God, it's the Astros. Okay. Surprise of the week. You ready for this one?
Yeah.
Soccer related, so.
No, not a bad thing.
Okay. The Seattle Reign had 4 players called into U.S. women's national team camp for June and July. Lynn Bayandalo, Okay.
Bet.
She's awesome. She's pretty much called in every time. Okay. Claudia Dickey, the keeper, this is now the second time she's been called in. Um, Interesting, right? Very cool that she's in that mix. But, I don't know if I was shocked. The keepers, they're missing Alyssa Nair, who's a normal starter. She's hurt. So it kind of makes sense. They have three young starters or three young keepers. But then Jordan Bugg, who we talked about earlier, center back, and my favorite Rain player, Sam Meza.
So when you say call up, like
Yes,
they're
Kev.
okay.
I love it when we talk soccer.
Okay.
Soccer and hockey. Kev's just
Yeah.
like, what's happening?
Okay, no. What does that mean practically? Like they're filling in for them?
No, no,
Like
no, no, no.
it's
So
temp?
different type of call up. Good question.
Yeah.
Call up here means they call them into a camp. So like a training camp type of thing for some international. I'm assuming this is international friendlies. I don't know. It could be the She Believes Cup, which happens often in summer. But I think it's just friendlies. Oh, my keyboard's going crazy. I'm trying to look it up. So they call them into camp. They have matches against, sorry, I'm going to do this on the fly here. It looks like Ireland on June 26th. And then they play somebody on June 29th, maybe Ireland again, and then July 2nd. So they have these three like friendlies basically. And so the camp for those friendlies or the roster will include these four Rain players, which
Very cool.
I can't remember the Rain schedule, but it's probably not great for the Rain. I think there is an international break in NWSL during this time, so that should be okay. But it's very cool. So that was surprising that Meza and Bug got called up, but it gives you know what it does, Kev? It pats me on the back a little bit that I'm watching soccer the right way because I have said on this podcast how good those two players are. So there you go.
I love it. I love that you were right about this.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
And we have receipts.
We got receipts.
Actual recordings.
You ready for the disappointment of the week?
Yeah, is it soccer related?
It's another soccer. There's a lot of soccer going on right now. This is my man Nuhu. You know Nuhu?
What's his first name?
Nobody knows. He just goes by Nuhu. He has a second name. I don't actually know if it's first or second. Everyone just calls him Nuhu. That's what's on his jersey.
It's like Ichiro, it's like Quinn. Like
Yeah, true. Yeah,
right? I
I'm
can't
thinking
think of
about
it. Pele.
Yeah. Sure. A lot of soccer players, right? Especially not from the United States, go by one name. So Nuhu. He's a very speedy outside back. Coming off of a red card against Vancouver in MLS play, where he put them down a player and they lost 3-0. In this Club World Cup match, right outside the box, the player for Botafogo lightly pushes him, and Nuhu gets 100% baited in, shoves the guy, knocks him down, yellow card. They score a goal on the free kick. And that's the first goal of the match. It's so dumb. And Nuhu plays with a lot of emotions, and he drives me absolutely nuts. Like, Schmetzer's awesome. We've said this before. He's the best coach in Seattle currently, right? We made that claim, I think, on a podcast. Maybe there's not an alternative. Maybe Nuhu did something that I don't see. He drives me crazy because of stuff like this. They could have won that game. They could have tied it. Now they have to go beat Atletico and PSG to advance in the Club World Cup. And do you know what it means if you advance? Millions of dollars come to your club.
Yeah, I mean that's why they were
Millions.
playing so hard. Yeah. Also,
well, the players actually, ironically, wanted more money and still played hard because they're on the world stage. I think,
Yeah. Yeah.
they know it's an MLS match. Like, there's 32 of them or something throughout the year.
Yeah.
Maybe more. It's like a Major League Baseball game. Like, you don't give your all in that. But once you get into the Club World Cup and you're playing world ranked teams, they play their butts off. Yeah.
Yeah.
But don't do stupid stuff, Nuhu. You're the disappointment of the week.
So I'm in charge of this one. Social media MVP of the week.
Yeah, you got to be in charge of this.
All right. So this
You're
is
giving it to yourself?
No. I'm not giving it to myself. This one's kind of funny because the house settlement passed. And one thing I've really enjoyed on social media is all these lawyers chiming in on interpreting what this thing
Yes.
means.
Yes.
And it's actually very educational. And I like can tell if they're telling the truth or not. Not truth in terms of actual truth, but you can kind of tell if someone's making something up or they
Wait,
just read
that
it.
that would not be the truth then.
No, okay, so here's the issue.
Okay.
Law is very gray, and you often measure things in reasonableness, right? Does that
Yes.
seem like a reasonable interpretation, or is this
Gotcha.
person just making up a hypothetical that's
I
just
see what you're saying.
completely right, like just dumb? It
Yep.
makes no sense. Um, I don't like. There's a lot of people out there. One of the guys that I follow is Winter Sports Law. And he's an attorney and he does college athletics and NIL and all that. Great follow because what he'll do is he kind of aggregates everything and he brings up all these novel issues like, oh, have they thought about this? Have they thought about this? Oh, there's a new lawsuit about this. And it's just so great because it's free
Yeah.
and it's actually really detailed and in depth. And this is kind of what the advantage of social media, where you can get exposed to people that aren't on TV. Like it's not Stephen A. Smith yelling at you,
Oh
right?
boy.
It's
Yeah.
it's pretty great. So, winter sports law, random dude in Texas, like or in Kansas City, like awesome
Nice.
follow.
Kansas
Um,
City. That's the
yeah,
best type of barbecue to me.
yeah,
I take Kansas City barbecue over Texas or North Carolina or anywhere else.
yeah.
Um, if we had an anti social
Like
media MVP, it would be anything involving Stephen A. Smith. You see, he was playing solitaire during the NBA Finals,
yeah, I saw that. Or like anybody
and
with
they
a
tried.
bad Caitlin Clark take.
Oh,
Yeah,
I got it. So I can't go on X right now because the algorithm knows I like the WNBA,
yeah,
and I just get both sides. There's people who are like the best 2 weeks of the year when Caitlin Clark wasn't playing,
yeah,
the whole brawl yesterday or whatever. Like it's just,
yeah.
oh, it is gross. It is really gross. I don't.
I'm gonna go see her play tomorrow night.
That's awesome.
So,
She's so
I,
fun to watch. It's great. That's great.
yeah,
And
I
Golden
might.
State's
Yeah,
playing awesome.
I'm kind of excited that no one got suspended.
Yeah, seriously.
So
That would
everyone,
suck.
yeah, or Thursday night. Yeah. So when you're listening, it'll be Thursday. Is it
Yeah.
Wednesday today? Yeah, tomorrow's Thursday. Wow. Oh my God, we're releasing the podcast on Thursday.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Kev. That's why the apology needs to come.
I apologize.
All right. One
Um,
Republic. Apologize. Timberland. Um, okay. Here's our preview of the week. How about this?
yeah,
We got a mailbag coming out
yes,
at some point. I think I've mostly answered my questions. We'll get it going. But one of the questions that I think Patrick Mariner Muse, who was on with me last week, is in charge of has to do stadium food.
yes,
And I just wanted to see, this is our preview.
yeah,
Read our mailbag. It'll come out in the next, I don't know, let's say
week.
3-4 days. Week.
Yeah.
Okay, fair. In the next week, although not by the time you hear the next podcast, because we're gonna podcast in like 2 days. What's your best stadium food?
God, I want to like in
Let's
general
go.
or
Let's
in
go
Seattle.
let's go in Seattle.
Okay, so I think like years ago and for a very long time it was garlic fries.
Yeah.
Don't think it is anymore.
The San Francisco Giant garlic fries with the garlic from Gilroy is so much better.
Really good. Yeah,
It's so
and
good.
I feel like they just kind of half ass it
In Seattle.
in Seattle because people know they'll buy
Yeah, they
them.
used to be better, I think.
Yeah, they're not as good. They just
Yeah.
always feel soggy to me.
I
Maybe
feel
it's the
like
amount of ketchup I add.
it's awesome.
Okay. Wow, that's actually tough, but I'm gonna go with uh like the intense helmet nachos with just like all the crap on it.
Oh, nice.
Like I've always when I've gotten that, I've always been very hungry and I've
Yeah.
always finished it or shared it with a friend and it's like gone by the third inning. So
Did
I'd go with
I don't think
helmet
I've told you
nachos.
this. So I went to a Mariners game. You sent me a nice little Venmo gift for me to enjoy. Um, enjoy a brew on you. I had great seats and I had a great time. I thought I was getting something different, but did I talk about this already?
No, 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 no.
I got like an Ichiro dog or something like that, and it had like all kinds of weird stuff on the hot dog, and it was fine. But I thought I was getting something else. I really need to go to a Mariners game and try the new stuff
Yeah.
because it's overwhelming to me a little bit, and so I end up getting just like regular hot dogs. And that's not the best stadium food, right? I need to find that corn dog with the blue on it that everyone's excited about. Or really the thing that I see most often on social media is the ice cream nachos.
Oh, that looks so good. Have you done
Yeah.
did you ever do the crickets? I don't know if they're still
I
around.
haven't I did it once, I think. They're just,
Yeah,
yeah, whatever.
the
They
crickets.
did they had an Apple TV did a Mariners game and they had stuff brought to them in the booth. And if I could wait in line for Moto Pizza, it might be worth it, but Moto Pizza's in West Seattle. It's a
Yeah,
Detroit style pizza, and I can
yeah,
just get it here, so I don't wait in line for it.
yeah,
So I get stadium food. I got nothing in Seattle. There's nothing that excites me. You know where it's the worst is all the Husky venues.
yeah,
Like go to a Husky basketball game.
yeah,
There's nothing good to eat.
yeah. Basketball games are pretty bad. I mean, if football games, like they can go low effort because everyone's pretty buzzed by the time
Yeah,
most adults are, and now they sell beer in the stadium, so people are gonna eat the worst French fries, the worst garlic
yeah.
fries. Um, yeah, and that's not.
I'm
I
gonna go
mean,
back
people
to what
are
I
gonna go to the games
right,
anyways, not
and they're gonna
in spite
spend
of the food.
$100 on concessions regardless.
Yeah, yeah,
That's why I used to tell you my Mariners trick was to go on the value menu, and they've expanded it. And Felix and I would just, when we went to 20 games a year when he really
yeah.
loved baseball, boom, value dog, $4. You get the value. Um, what do we do? We get the value nachos. Then you save the cheese for the pretzel.
There
So
you
you
go.
don't buy the cheese with the pretzel. You save the cheese from the nachos.
Same
Um,
cheese.
yep.
Yeah,
You bring your own soda cup in because they just have them out in the stadium. And then you get like a red rope or something.
yeah, yeah.
Um, anyway, that's way too long in stadium food, but
No, no,
there,
no. I think too, like actually the best stuff is like outside the stadium
I was gonna say that
Occident, like all
all
the
the hot
hot
dogs
dog
and stuff
places are
outside of the,
so
yeah,
good.
so much
They're
better.
so good.
Yeah,
Al's hot dogs, like that
yeah,
stuff is so good. And the same, like I was just thinking, like the Husky game, like if you're at a good tailgate, you're gonna have some good
yeah. The
food
tailgates
beforehand,
where you eat the good food, right?
right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, like Ivers is okay at a Husky football game, but like you're watching football and you're eating fish and chips, it just feels complicated. Or a chowder bowl, like what's happening, you know?
yeah.
Okay, here's what I'm gonna do, Kev. I will be going to more Mariner games. I don't know when. I've only gone to one. It's kind of weird.
Are you gonna rate the food?
I'm gonna make an effort to get different food that I haven't gotten before at different times, and then
Yeah.
I will rate it as a post, or we'll talk about it in the podcast.
Yeah, you should make your kids eat different things too.
Good
You
call.
know,
Yep.
that way you don't have to eat everything.
Yep.
You can
We're
have your basic hot dog every once in a while.
we're targeting it's true. We're targeting July 5th because it's the JP Crawford basketball jersey night, but
Nice.
it's only 15,000 fans. It might be worth it to get there right when it opens. I mean, that thing is, I got the Giannis one. I'll wear it next week on the podcast.
That's
All right.
awesome.
I'm going to move on to the next category.
Yeah.
The Mayan civilization prediction
I
of the week.
love this. So
Do you remember when the Mayans predicted the end of the world, or everyone said
and
they
it
did,
never happened.
but they really didn't. It was just the end of their calendar.
Yeah. Was it in 2016?
Somewhere 2012, 2016,
Okay,
something.
if it was 2016, then it might have predicted the end of the U.S. government, but that I just went really dark. Okay.
Dang!
Yeah. Hopefully it was in 2012. Would be a bad joke.
Uh,
Anyways, okay.
that
Yeah.
joke works still. Okay. What's your it doesn't have to be that
Yeah.
apocalyptic,
Yeah.
Kev. I just used it as a funny intro.
Yeah.
Give me a prediction for the week. Any sport, any Seattle thing.
Yeah.
It can be a
Yeah.
recruit.
Yes, this is what
I
was
knew you were
gonna
gonna go.
say. Yeah.
I knew you were.
The Huskies got another 4-star recruit today. They're
Football.
football. They have one big recruiting visit weekend happening this weekend. They're number 15 in the country right now, which is awesome considering they only won 6 games last season
Yep.
and they created some type of buzz, right?
This is for the 2026 class, obviously.
Yes, yeah.
So these would be guys who would come in next summer.
Yeah, so they're rising seniors.
Rising seniors. Yep.
I think the
Givens to UW.
class,
Is that your
yeah,
prediction?
I think they have one more major four-star, and I
Ooh.
think that they'll stay in the top 15. Like, which is I think a big
Go
accomplishment.
stronger.
Yeah. Okay,
What's the guy's name that everyone's excited about?
I think they're gonna get Givens.
What's his first name? Do you know off the top of your head?
Tristan.
Tristan Givens. What
Tristan
position does
Givens.
he play?
I think he plays D line.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
And he's got offers from all kinds of places.
Yeah.
Tennessee.
He was a surprise visitor. Now they've
Yeah.
brought in these like surprise five stars who have subsequently like, okay, oh yeah, he's an edge.
He's a
Edge
5-star or
rusher.
4-star?
He's a 5 star.
Oh,
He's the number 3 edge in the country. So higher than Coleman Bruce, like 6'3", 215.
the hashtag Givens to the dub that's taken off on social media.
It's
This
great.
is actually the best thing of social media in Seattle is Husky fans rallying for recruits is actually really cool. Like they're so positive. They don't really crap on other teams. I mean, there are some anti-Oregon stuff, but when they
Yeah.
talk to recruits, they just pump them up. They pump up the university.
Yeah.
It's actually
It's all
it's
pretty
pretty cool.
positive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty positive.
I've like because of my like to get information,
Yeah,
I've had to stay away from that and I don't like doing that anyways.
right,
But other people use what I report to
right,
do those types of things, which is fine.
right.
But yeah, I totally agree with you. I think that uh kids like attention. I'll
Yeah.
go into
Oh
story
yeah.
time. I'll go
Oh
into
yeah.
story time, right?
Oh
Assistant basketball coach at one time, TJ Otzelberger.
yeah.
This was kind of like I think it was 2012.
He was at UW for 1 year, I
Yeah,
think. And then
and
he Iowa State, right?
yeah,
Where is he
I'm
now? He's
gonna
somewhere
re
now.
he's the head coach at Iowa State, I'm
That's
pretty
right.
sure,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Made the
Yeah.
NCAA tournament the past 3 years. Okay,
Yep.
he was in charge. He was the associate head coach, did a lot of recruiting. Okay, I don't know if I'm gonna get in trouble, but I'm just gonna share what happened. Okay, he contacts me. I'm a website writer at this time for SB Nation's UW Dog Pound.
Yep.
He talks to me. He's like, basically, the more attention a recruit gets from our fan base, the better.
Yep.
Like it plays a role. He's like, this, I maybe I just won't tell which recruit it
Sure.
is,
Sure.
but this fan base in the Mountain West is giving this guy more attention than UW. Like every time you write an article, like it gives fans something to hold on to and to pump
Yeah.
this guy up. So I'm going to work you to write this article. I'm going to give you pictures. I'm going to give you XYZ to help you write your article. I'll make sure it happens. Um, Very exciting to have a source, but also like kind of like, well, I'm not also going to be used, right?
Yeah.
Which
Right.
is very a thing, but it goes to show that that's not a fake thing, right?
Oh, and that's got to be tenfold now.
Yeah, coaches like buzz,
Yeah.
recruits like buzz, and whether they can, whether that matters or not, like in the recruiting process, like it kind of does. It's
It
so
totally
weird to
matters. I
me.
mean,
Like it's kind of weird to think about it that way. That fans are kind of have a role, but it's not a made up thing. It totally isn't.
Kev, you've been around enough high school athletes, as have
Yeah,
I.
yeah,
This is not a knock on any kid. It's really rare when you get a kid who's not enamored with the love they're getting,
yeah,
right? I've
yeah,
coached really good kids who committed to the first school they went to because they got overwhelmed by the love and could have gone to a higher
yeah,
school, right?
yeah.
But they just were like, I felt so much love there. It wasn't even like I love this coach or this or this or this. Um,
But
I
it's
think,
like kind of
and
like if you feel wanted, like anything, right? Like if you feel wanted at a job
hey, listen,
that's offered to you,
if Sam Procopio and Bishop Blanchett came along and started really selling me and trying to get me over there,
yeah, took you to a steak dinner,
yeah,
right?
I wouldn't
Took you
go.
on a yacht.
Sorry, Sam, I'm out. Roll prep. Okay. My son started playing freshman football, by the way.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
that's
big deal. We'll
exciting.
talk about that a different
Yeah,
time.
God, I can't wait.
All right, the
Um,
Jesse Spano, I'm so excited of the week. Do you know this reference?
Who's Jesse Spano?
Do you
Is
know
this
the show
embarrassing?
Saved by the Bell?
Okay, I know it's a show that people your age are obsessed
Yes.
with. I've never watched it.
Okay, so on Saved
before
by
my
the Bell,
time.
Zach Morris was the main character, and then there's AC Slater, played by Mario Lopez, I think is his name, and then there was three girls, three guys in the main cast. One was Jesse Spano. Elizabeth Berkley is the actress. Jesse Spano one time got hooked on pills to try and stay awake to study because she was really academically motivated. This is ahead of its time, by the way. And she has this iconic scene. You'll find memes all over the place for this, where she has to study and do all this stuff, but they're also doing like a lip sync performance at the local burger place, the six of them. I'm So Excited by Pointer Sisters or whatever it is, an 80s song. And Zach Morris comes to find her because he's worried about her taking pills. She's like, "No, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm so excited. I'm so excited." And then she starts crying. She's like, "I'm so scared." And it's like this dramatic moment where she reveals that she's been taking these pills and stuff like that. Just people my age, like the "I'm so excited."
They're smiling right now because they
It's
understand.
part of our like everyday vernacular. There's just things that you say to each other. If somebody says "I'm so excited," somebody my age is like thinking of Jesse Spano. So all that context to say, what are you excited about this week? Or what are you excited about right now in Seattle sports?
Well, honestly, I'm excited to watch Caitlin Clark.
Oh yeah, it's a good
But
one. That counts. I mean,
yeah,
I'll
does
give it
that
to you.
count? Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
she's like national transcendent, right?
Yeah, that's very cool.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's pretty cool. So,
Yeah.
Caitlin Clark.
All right. Mine is podcast listener, one time appearance on this podcast, Justin Fenton. We've been talking about it, and he bought Husky women's basketball season tickets,
Let's go.
and he bought three, and he emailed me and said, "Do you want to be in on one?" Because
Yeah.
it's some combination of us will go to games. Like,
Yeah.
schedules get in the way, but
Yeah.
one of my kids can go sometime or whatever, and I'm in. So now I am with Justin. We have women's season tickets for this coming year for the Husky women. It's awesome.
That is exciting.
It's very exciting. Yeah.
Oh God. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
I am feeling like, do I want to get men's also? I don't know how that will work logistically with my family.
Yeah.
If you looked at my summer calendar, Kev, I should share a screenshot, or I should share my screen at some point. It just is like goes, because my kids are at an age where they're doing stuff all the time, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like my oldest is doing driver's ed this summer. Like, what's happening?
He's gonna
um,
drive you.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
we'll see.
Yeah.
But and there's tennis and basketball and all these things, and we both have work and different stuff. It's just, you'd think summer for a teacher would be relaxed, and it's actually just
it
a
isn't.
lot of driving around.
Yeah.
Nothing in West Seattle for the most part. But
Yeah.
that's a long way of saying I don't know how I could do men's and women's next year because my kids are at an age where they have stuff, but I kind of want to. That men's team is getting me excited with their roster.
Yeah. Did they add someone this week, or am I imagining?
No, it was Claude. We talked about it last week.
Okay.
Desmond Claude,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. God.
One more quick excitement. I'm excited for the Cubs series. The Mariners playing the Cubs. That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
always scared every time the Mariners play. I'm scared, but
I've loved the schedule, how we get to play every single team at least once now.
yeah,
And I think it's been going on for a few years. It's cool to play the Cubs. It's cool to play storied programs.
yeah. I will save this for
Franchises.
either a post or another podcast, but I would like to one time talk about rule changes in sports we'd like to see,
Yeah.
and then ones that we like that have happened. And baseball has a lot that are positive,
Yep.
that old curmudgeon baseball fans don't like. Interleague play. No, interleague play is awesome. I want the Mariners to play the Cubs.
Yeah.
I want to see the Giants. I want to see the Mariners finish the season with the Dodgers. That's rad. It's going to be terrible because we're going to miss the playoffs because of it, but it's cool.
Could you
Anyway.
imagine Cal Raleigh hitting a game winner against Otani to get the Mariners the last wild card spot?
Oh my
Speak it
God,
into an
Kev.
existence. Okay.
I almost cried right there. Okay, top five.
Me to you first?
Yeah.
Okay. Sonics. Triple
Let's go.
doubles. Sonics history.
Oh, wow.
Top
tough.
5 all time.
Oh, man. Triple doubles.
There's five.
There's
A
not that
clean
many
five.
Sonics. Wait, what'd you say? What do you mean?
There's a clean five, which means that no one's tied for fifth. So the top
Okay,
five
got
own
you.
the top five. And there's no repeats. Well, obviously there's no repeats.
Sonic's history. So if you think about the all-time great Sonics players, none of them, obviously these are not, the Thunder are not included on this.
Nope.
You would not do that after
No,
this whole intro.
absolutely
Okay.
not.
Well, Gary Payton should be on that list, I
He's
think.
number one. He had 14 triple doubles. for the
Interesting.
Sonics.
It's more than I would have thought. Okay. I mean, so I'm going to talk through who I'm thinking so that our fans, I was gonna say,
We're not
listeners
that
can.
big, man.
I know exactly. Like Kemp's in my mind, Detlef Schrempf's in my mind. I mean, I'll throw Kemp.
No, he's not
Yeah.
even in the top. Oh, actually, he had one.
Yeah, it's dumb. I just thought maybe.
Yeah.
Why did I do that? I panicked. This is
Yeah.
a hard category because,
Yeah.
like, who are the guards in Sonic's history? Because it's usually guards, I feel like, who get
You're on the
triple
right
doubles.
track. Yeah.
But like Ray Allen never got assists. Um, I mean, he could have had like 3 or something, but
Yeah.
I don't know. How about Nate McMillan?
Yes.
I'm
3.
in.
He had 4, and he was third
Oh.
all time. Good guess.
All right, Ray Allen.
No, he had 2. He was number 6. Is that 2 strikes?
Yeah, that's 2 strikes.
Okay. Lenny Wilkins was number 2.
Mm-mm.
He had 10. Nate McMillan 3. Slick Watts, R.I.P., who's
Oh.
tied for McMillan. He had 4. And Jack Sikma had 3.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Who is Jay
It's-
Fox?
Jay Fox?
Yeah.
Like the initial J or like
Oh,
J
Jim
what?
Fox.
Jim
Oh.
Fox, who played for the Sonics?
Yeah, he played for the Sonics. He was born in
I got-
1943.
I got nothing on Jim Fox.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know not a lot of
yeah.
Sonics, despite my top 5
Yeah.
appearances.
Yeah.
I don't know Jim Fox.
Yeah, he was on this list. So,
Man, I feel like I'm so bad at top 5.
can you believe
My wife's
Russell
always like,
West-
we should go to trivia together.
Yeah. Russell
ahead.
Westbrook going into the 2024-25 season had 203. Jokic 164.
Oh my God.
LeBron 122. Luka 82. Harden 80. Like Giannis has 56.
Yeah. That's the thing. We didn't have players who did that. Plus, do you know they're actually more liberal with assists than they used to be?
Oh, really?
So like you can make a move afterwards. They give you an assist. They're trying to pad stats.
I really remember though, I'm gonna out you right now when you told me
Oh.
to keep stats, be liberal on the assists, right? Right. We want to reward guys for passing the ball and making the offense move. So tally, like, it doesn't have to
Totally.
be perfect, right? Like a pass and a shot right away. Like if he takes a few dribbles and makes a shot, give the assist.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Anyway, okay.
what do you got?
That was
for me?
outing me. That wasn't bad. Mine's so random, Kevin. I think
Yeah.
you're gonna love it.
Yeah.
Top 5 tallest players in Washington Husky basketball history.
Aziz Ansari.
No. Strike.
No, what?
Yeah.
Todd McCullough.
No, strike.
I lost already.
So they're both 7-footers, but there are 5 people through my research. I spent a lot of time on
Okay,
this.
so
Today.
Haas isn't on this list then.
Oz is not. He's 7 feet and he's actually 6'11", and he will tell you he's 7, but he's not.
Yeah.
There's a lot of 7-footers. There's actually an article you can find on the internet about the 18 7-footers who played for the Huskies, but it was in 2020, so they missed a couple. The tallest player you should know. He only played a tiny bit. Recent. Riley Sorn,
Yeah, he was like 7'3".
7'4" from Richland, Washington.
Yeah, I remember watching him at the state tournament.
Yeah, exactly.
2016, I think.
No, it's not that
is he
old. I don't
more
think.
recent?
I think it's more recent. I could be wrong. Riley Sorn is 7'4". He's the tallest. You're not going to get the second one. It's Peter Gudmundsson from 1978. He was 7'2". Okay. Two of the others you should get. Actually, the next three you should get. They're all listed at 7-1 somewhere. So
And it wasn't Endry.
Patrick Femmerling.
Wouldn't have got it.
You got to know Patrick Femmerling.
No.
When Rip Hamilton hit the shot against the Huskies
It was
go to the
over
Elite Eight,
Patrick.
it was over Patrick Femmerling, who's 7'1".
Poor guy.
Yeah, it's seared into my head because Femmerling was kind of soft. Hopefully he doesn't listen to the podcast. And like I felt like he could have got it. I mean, he's a great shot. Anyway. James Edwards, one of the best Huskies ever from Roosevelt High School, played in the NBA. He's 7'1", listed in some places. He's also listed at 7 feet, so I should probably give it to you when you guessed Njai and McCulloch because they're both 7 feet. The other 7'1" player that I saw, Braxton Mia.
Oh yeah,
Recent Husky.
transfer.
Yeah,
Didn't he transfer?
Nebraska, maybe. Yeah.
I got a random story for you.
Wait,
You'll like
how
this.
cool was my top five?
It
Come
was
on.
cool.
It was super random.
It was so random.
And I got you in
totally
2 strikes.
2 strikes in like a minute.
But in fairness, Kev, you never do this to me. You're always like, "Yeah, you're an idiot. You suck at top 5." I always tell you that you did a good job, Kev. You got 2 7-footers. So like you're in the ballpark.
Yeah. Can I tell you this story about Aziz
Yeah,
Ansari?
sure. Tell me all things about yourself.
Yeah. At one point, I had aspirations to maybe be a basketball coach. I was a basketball manager.
Yeah.
And so I was invited to be a counselor at the Husky basketball camp.
Wait,
And
you were?
yes, I was.
From who? Who invited you?
An MB, what's his face? His name is escaping me, but he runs a scouting service. Matt. Why am I forgetting Matt's last name? Anyways, Matt.
It's wild to me that you were invited to do this.
So I was a coach. And my credentials was I was the LMU basketball manager and I coached for Seattle Prep. So they brought me on, and they also had player coaches. So it was like the Husky basketball players and just like all these random guys from around Seattle area that Romar and his staff could round up. And I was one of the people they rounded up. And I coached games against Aziz Njai, and Aziz Njai would always complain that I was like cheating and stuff. I also got to do post moves with Aziz Njai too. Like that was like my station.
That's incredible.
So
what a combo. You and Aziz Njai doing station work together. Are you
yeah,
kidding?
it was great. I was teaching post ups, which is kind of weirdly what I did at LMU, so it wasn't like anything new, but funny.
I mean,
anyways.
Kev, I won't give you too much crap because one of my best, I don't know if I've told this on the podcast before.
Yeah.
So I coached posts a lot when I was coaching high school. I'd go back and forth. Sometimes I was in charge of the guards, but I felt really comfortable with the post. I watched, a lot of videos. I went to coaching clinics. I think you can learn how to coach positions even if you're not one.
Oh,
of them.
yeah.
I mean, I'm sure the best post-up coaches probably also were great post-up players. Could be.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I was in charge of a particular post in 2006, and his name was Spencer Haas.
Oh, there you go. That's how you know he's 6'11" and not something.
So, well, he'd get mad when they would list him at 6'11". That's why I say that. He doesn't listen to the podcast. He should. He'd probably love our podcast. Spencer Haas was really good in high school, like top 10 recruit in the country.
Yeah.
He's in the same, I've talked about this before, I think. He's in the same recruiting class as Greg Oden and Brooke and Robin Lopez. So 4 7-footers in the top probably 20 recruits in the country, maybe top 10. I'd have to go back and look. And Oden was the guy. And I think Spencer on most recruiting services, and he did care about the attention, was number 2 to Greg Oden, right?
Yeah.
So I had 2 things with Spencer. He had trouble with free throws that year. He's a great free throw shooter. He had kind of a mental block. So I had to spend a lot of time rebounding free throws for him and like just talking him through like, that one look good, keep going. Don't think about it, just shoot, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
The other thing we would do like post drills, we do a lot of doubling the post drills. Everybody doubled and triple teamed him, obviously.
Yeah.
Our supporting cast were really good players, but a lot of like D3 guys. We didn't have like a bunch of D1 the year we won state, right? Obviously, when we had Martell Webster, we did, but we weren't very good with those two for whatever reason. So we did double drills, but then I would do drills where he'd finish. And he definitely had like, some injuries and bad knees and stuff. It's part of being a 7-footer. And sometimes he'd just go up like and do layups, and it was kind of soft finishes.
Yeah.
And I would just go, I mean, you can do that if you want, Spence, but Greg Oden is dunking that right now. And it would work. He would get so mad, and then he would dunk so hard, and he would just glare at me, and it was awesome. And I
Yeah.
do it all the time. Like anytime he'd take a play off or go slow,
Yeah.
I'd be like, I guarantee you Greg Oden is going hard right now, Spence, just
Yeah.
over and over and
I
over.
love it. I love
It
it.
was really fun.
I forget that high school kids are not adults, so they're not like gonna. I mean, yeah, they'll talk back to you, but they'll get angry. And
Oh
they
yeah.
they
You know how
can learn
many
how to
kids
use.
I've coached over the years got really pissed at me? A lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know how many kids now, including my sons, get mad at me when I coach them? A lot. Yeah. Um,
Before we end, I do
so
want to
good.
give a shout out to Matt McKay, founder of PerspectiveInsight.com. He was the graduate assistant for Lorenzo Romar that believed in me to teach post moves. So,
That is absolutely incredible. And
anyways,
then
we got to have
so
Matt on the podcast.
we could talk about post moves all day long.
Um, Anything else to add, or we'll see
No, we're gonna
everybody.
talk in 3 days, Kev,
Yeah,
if we can get back on track. So we'll have one Mariner series to talk about.
be great. Oh, just
right.
be talking about
Oh.
cataloging.
Wait. I didn't do my prediction of the week.
Oh yeah.
I have to do this really quick because it relates.
Yep.
When people are listening to this and then they go home at night on Thursday night and they watch the Seattle Sounders, they're going to beat Atletico Madrid.
Oh, that's bold.
So we'll have that to talk about in the podcast next
That'll be
week.
great. All right, I'm
See
gonna
ya.
watch now. All right, see you next week.